Robert Hanssen wasn't just in the FBI. He was a key architect of its counterintelligence systems. This is what makes it truly terrifying. He was the man responsible for catching people exactly like himself. He didn't use a flashy alias. To the Russians, he was simply B. He refused to meet them in person, ever. For over 20 years, the Soviet and later Russian handlers didn't even know his real name. They just knew that B was the most reliable source of American secrets they had ever seen. He was so cold-blooded that he even betrayed two Soviet assets, Dmitry Polyakov and Valery Martinov, knowing full well they would be executed upon their return to Moscow. They were. The FBI's failure to catch him for 2 decades is a sobering look at institutional blind spots. Hanssen was known to be difficult, arrogant, and tech-obsessed. He was constantly poking into computer files that didn't belong to him. But because he was a high-level agent with God-level security clearances, no one questioned him. They just thought he was an eccentric nerd who was bad at social cues. In reality, he was using the FBI's own internal search engines to see if the Bureau was investigating him. It was the ultimate fox guarding the henhouse scenario. The way he was caught is a masterclass in Cold War-style espionage. By the late 90s, the FBI knew they had a mole. They called him Gray Suit, but they were convinced it was a CIA guy named Brian Kelly. They nearly ruined Kelly's life investigating him. The real break came from pure, cold, hard cash. The FBI found a former KGB officer willing to talk, but his price was astronomical, $7 million and a new life in America. It was worth every penny. He handed over a file containing original trash bags Hanssen had used for drops, which had his fingerprints on them, and a secret recording of a phone call. When the FBI leadership heard that voice, the room went silent. It wasn't the CIA. It was one of their own. The end didn't happen in a flurry of gunfire. It happened in a mundane park in suburban Virginia. On February 18, 2001, the FBI watched through thermal goggles as Hanssen, a man nearing retirement age, shuffled out to a bridge to leave his final package of secrets. When the tactical team moved in, there was no struggle. Hanssen knew the game was over because he had designed the game. His famous question, "What took you so long?" wasn't just sarcasm. It was a genuine critique of his colleagues' investigative skills. He was insulted that it had taken them 20 years to find him. Hanssen didn't do it for politics. He wasn't a communist. He didn't even seem to do it just for the money, as he lived a relatively modest life. Most psychologists believe he did it for the intellectual ego trip, to prove he was smarter than the system that employed him. He spent the rest of his life in ADX Florence, the Alcatraz of the Rockies, in a 7 by 12-foot cell, 23 hours a day, until his death in 2023. No more secrets, no more games, just 4 concrete walls.